All right, we should be live. Well, thank you, everybody. Welcome to this quarter's community call. Just an FYI, we are now streaming in both YouTube and Mozilla. So if you're watching us from those platforms, or if you're watching us later, please do leave comments and any questions you might have on Matrix or on the support forum thread that we created for this call. So we have a rather packed agenda today. So next slide, please, Abby. Abby is my next slide person. Welcome and introductions. You're good, Abby. Next one. Just a reminder to where to RSVP on the community.mozilla.org. Again, if you have any questions, you can find this lovely thread and ask the questions. And this is where you can watch those things on Mozilla on YouTube live or on demand. We're fancy. So today, who are we talking? There's gonna be me, Abby, and Joe. I'm gonna cover the general community updates. Abby I made her volunteer to do the platform updates, and Joe is gonna do the Firefox version 137 updates that launched yesterday. So an FYI, and then we're going to open the floor if anybody has any questions or want to add anything. I don't know if Roland would love to add something from the Thunderbird side. Next slide, please. So the first one, I will give the floor to Joe to talk about Firefox 137.
Hey everybody. So the long-awaited for tab groups has finally released as an experiment. It is a progressive rollout, so if you don't see it yet, you will hopefully see it soon. Thank you to Paul who got us across in terms of a Sumo article, but very, very excited for this one. And the other feature that I wanted to share was on iOS, and it is the ability to choose which color icon you would like displayed. That is also a progressive rollout, so if you don't see it yet, it is coming. But yeah, those are the two exciting things that were released yesterday. We are very excited about tab groups.
Awesome.
That's all from me. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. Also a reminder, we have two threads, one for mobile, one for desktop. If you see anything from the community side that you would like to let us know, that we should know, that we should ping our friends in the product side, please, please, please go and report it on the forum community side. And we will make your voice heard. And also, I would like to say the comments of all the love to Paul that he's receiving now on the chat on the Zoom room for all the help that he has been doing there. This is a reminder that we also shared last time that Mozilla is removing inactive profiles. We are gonna also soon publish an KB on how that will look like on support side. Remember that our support website is using Mozilla accounts in order to have accounts. So anything inactive for, I believe, 2 more years. Abby, correct me if I'm wrong, will be deleted, and there is different cases depending on the content those people had. We're gonna release some information for the community on how that's gonna look like on the website. So if you start seeing stuff that you know what is going on there, and you can also inform any kind of questions that might come your way. So expect to see something from us coming there soon. Next slide, please, Abby.
Yeah, just I'm gonna add one more thing on this one too. If
Sure.
there's any questions that you already have that you know you would want to see in a KB article like this, let me know. I'm going to start drafting it this week. But basically, the whole idea was any content that needs to be attributed to someone, like we don't want like an article to be deleted just because the user who wrote the article was deleted. So those will be reassigned to like a bot type of user, which it's not going to be just called bot, but more information to come on that. We're finishing up all of that. But things like that are like what happens when you message someone who has a deleted profile, or who you had a string with someone who's deleted. So the KB article will talk about some of those scenarios. But if there's any other questions that you're already thinking about, send those over to me and we will make sure to get those answers and include it.
Can I ask one question, Abby?
Yes.
Why isn't the choose to keep the articles under the name of the writer?
Yep. So because of like our terms of use and privacy policy, any
Okay.
reference, that's all like the legal talk, any reference to that person, that user has to be deleted. We get to keep the content of those types of things, but we don't get to keep the username, etc. So it can't be attributed to a deleted user.
Too bad.
I know it's quite the legal jargon, but we're doing our best to try to minimize the impact to our end users as much as possible and make sure that we're not losing any of those valuable things. So, for all of us, just log into your account every 2 years, and it will never be an issue for you. Lesson.
Also, these people will receive some reminders that their account is going to be deleted. So it's not going to be then one day to another, as far as I remember.
Yes.
Correct, Abby?
Exactly. I think they've already started notifying people. So I can't remember how many. They get a series of emails basically being like, hey, you haven't logged in, you need to log in. As long as you log in, you're good. Otherwise, on this date, we're going to delete your account. And so this first deletion is going to be a really big deletion just because we're basically going back however long because we didn't have an active deletion policy in place. But moving forward, this is just going to happen on a rolling basis. So users will as they're nearing that 2-year mark, they'll get an email from the Mozilla accounts team basically being like, hey, log in. And then when that 2-year date hits, it'll automatically be removed. So kind of a complicated process, but thanks for your patience as we figure out all the details. Okay. And I'm next with platform updates. Okay, so I know that moderation tool has been a very hot topic, and the purpose of moderation tool was to help us classify all of our forum content with correct topics and tags using our new taxonomy. This was never meant to be a permanent solution, and the permanent solution is automation of that. So typically industry-wide, when it comes to forum posts, knowledge-based articles, you don't rely on a human to actually categorize that. It uses the context of the article, the keywords, like all of that to automatically apply the taxonomy and the tags to that content. So that is what we are currently working on building. So because of that, the moderation tool use case is going to change to validation of that categorization versus us having to actually manually do that. So that will give you, as forum moderators, more time to basically just validate what the tool is saying it should be classified as, adjust it if needed, and then spend more time actually responding to the post versus just moderating the categorization. We're also including spam in this. So we know that like the increase of spam has also made your time spent in the moderation queues go up. We acknowledge that, and we want to do a better job of filtering that out and or categorizing it as spam so that those are kind of out of the way, again, to enable you to actually spend more time responding. The other perk of this is because the classification will happen in real time whenever something is submitted, we'll have more efficient reporting that will essentially tell us immediately like what's happening across the forums. So if we see a really big spike under a certain topic or a certain tag, we can more quickly identify bugs, jump in quicker on common issues, help direct like all of you on where like maybe you can spend your time to like have the most impact. So those are some of the benefits of automating this. So my call to action is the engineering team is starting to work on this on the back end, but we are going to need forum moderators to help us test out the model and validate the feature before we actually go live in production by the end of H1. So stay tuned. We're going to definitely need some help, like making sure that the model is doing its job and applying that right categorization. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have technical questions, let me know and I'll pass them on to the engineers. But we want you to all be included and a part of this. And thanks for your patience, as I know the moderation tool has not been as smooth and seamless as we would have all hoped. So more to come.
Yes.
Yes, we will. Yes. So the ability to change tags to like the predefined list of tags will be an option. The ability to add new tags we don't know the final process. We're hoping to build that into the tool so that you don't have to like reach out through a Google form or through Slack or Matrix to get a tag added. Instead, it would all just be within the platform itself. So that's another use case that we're working through just to make it easier within your workflow. So yes, many improvements to come.
Thank you, Abby. I think you made some people happy.
I hope so. We're working on it.
And I'm gonna give something that we are gonna announce on Monday for more details. In the meantime, we know we do have the moderation tool. So the moderation tool, for those of you who don't know, is how staff is actually what staff is using in order to moderate the topics right now. And we are gonna open that to also community. So community will have the same access, as the staff. So for you guys to make your life easier until we open the AI capabilities. I just want to flag here, because this is an interim tool, we won't invest time. So unless you found bugs, we won't add any kind of like new features. So it won't necessarily be the best flow. But it is, we want our community to have the same access as staff on those things. Cool. Abby, you are the slides master. What's next? A look ahead. Yeah, just a reminder on what we actually investing on. We're investing on more product support and education so it will help to actually bring more people on community newsletter and giving the news out, and also community engagement and events. So these are the three pillars. You have probably seen the slide before, but I want to re-emphasize the three pillars of what the community team is doing right now. So if you have any questions on what you're doing on a specific item, do ask me. I will bring some of those items in the future community calls to keep the community informed. And as usual, do look forward for the post of Kiki and I on the forums, the community forums, to know what we're working on. And next slide, please, Abby. And here you can see the current priorities. Automation improvement. Abby talked about this extensively and how we're addressing also spam. Forum moderation and improvements. I talked about how we are going to open the moderator tool for you all folks. And we are also investing on making weekly reports on what is going on our forums. So you have seen those going out every week until now from Andrea. From now on, it will be Kiki and I. Just a reminder, this Friday we won't have a weekly report because in case you are looking for Mozilla stuff on Friday, it's a wellness day for Mozilla employees, which means that we are not gonna be working. So if I don't post on Friday, it's not because I forgot about you folks, it's because probably I'm gonna join brands with my baby somewhere in hopefully sunny Berlin. That doesn't mean that if something burns, we won't come online. So you can always know where to find us. Just don't expect us to regularly work. So the weekly report is going to be posted this time on Monday for a change. And thank you very much. I'm going to open the floor. Hopefully, sunny Berlin. Yeah, JR, it's like this when it comes to Berlin and weather. Nobody moves in this town.
Granted, I've only been to Berlin once and for a week, which was the first all hands that I went to several years ago in Berlin. It was like overcast every day. So
yeah. By the way, I'm going to open the floor to Roland in case he wants to give any Thunderbird updates.
Thunderbird 137 was released yesterday, our second monthly release. I think there's a few hiccups around it, so I'm sort of trying to figure out what exactly happened, but stay tuned. There might be an update. We'll see.
Cool. Thank you, Roland. So keep an eye on the forums for Roland to give us an update. And if there are people that are doing Thunderbird, the community stuff here, or watching this call, please hit up Roland if you see spikes on something and help Roland understand what is going on. That is from me. I'm going to open the floor if anybody else has any questions, since we have quite a exit today. Also, I want to give a shout out to Olivia. Olivia is helping me and helping Andrea in the past gathering the data that you see on Fridays. And it's very helpful for us to understand where we can talk to community, but the topics that we want to emphasize to community. So shout out to Olivia about the work she's doing there. I'm the messenger on the info that you're getting. Olivia is the mastermind behind the numbers that you guys are getting. So, and also, since we have Olivia here, I'm not going to put her on the spot. If there is anything on this report that you would find more useful to know, that you will find more helpful for you to do your community moderation, engagement contributions, do let us know on those posts. Because it's an experiment, we want to understand if we're helping you or not. So if anything is helping you understand stuff, please do let us know, and I will make Olivia to see the numbers. Sorry, Olivia.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Any questions?
Constantine and I just got out of a meeting right before this talking about the reporting and experiment and stuff like that. So, or the, trying to put more numbers together and communicate more. So that's top of mind for both of us, talking about communicating more and what we can report and share out to just to communicate more with the community. So yeah, thank you for that.
All right, let me see if we have any questions on Matrix actually, because I haven't checked there yet.
Can I, while you're doing that, can I pose a question to our community folks here and maybe anybody watching? Something that I'm very curious, not to say that we will make movement on any of it right now, but as it relates to this, like Olivia communicating more what's kind of going on in the forum and where we might need assistance, would it be relevant to essentially gather y'all's feedback on what's not working with the forum in terms of workflows, your ability to go through, see what questions need to be responded to? I'd be curious to understand more of that specific feedback from the community who works on the forum a lot, to see where a lot of the bottlenecks are. And I'm sure there are plenty, because y'all have created your own workarounds to a lot of things. Not to say, because I'm not going to tell Abby to go fix all of these things, but I'm very curious to hear some of those pain points, if that makes sense. So curious if you think that's relevant, Constantina, to do at some point in the future and aggregate some feedback.
I think so. I hope Abby won't kill me to do so.
Oh my gosh, never. I need to know all the things.
I think it's an interesting one, because I think it's kind of yes to both those points. I think there are pain points and areas where there is need for improvement. At the same time, over the years, there's been a level of sort of almost muscle memory and people getting used to doing things in a particular way to get around it. And as a result, there's no sort of, it's an interesting one. It's almost 50-50, both of those. It's sort of knowing what the pain point is, but also understanding what the workarounds are. And is that a workaround that could be built in? Or is that a workaround that, we need to resolve it or leave alone? Yeah, so it can still be a workaround for now.
Makes sense, Paul. Let's see how we can actually facilitate that. I'll work with Abby and see, like, what I don't want to do is ask you folks for questions and then we don't take action on those. So I will talk with Abby and JR to see how we can ask you the right questions, and also be mindful on requirements, and be mindful of time requirement, right? Like we have 2 full-time engineers and 1 engineering manager, Tassos. Like we're not a big team when it comes to engineering resources, and we need to be mindful of their time. But I do know that the big thing is spam. Abby promised to address it. She talked about it live in a community call.
It's documented.
It's documented. It's written not on a slide, as Germans like to see how everything written. So I know that is the biggest pain point from what I've heard from you guys until now, and we can see also what else we can address in H2. Cool. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I don't see any questions from the people that are watching us on YouTube. Let me double check. Matrix. Nope, we don't have anything. If you're watching this call later, please do ask on the forum support post about any questions, and I will make sure to send it to the right people. In the meantime, I will ask you to enjoy your morning, evening, afternoon, nights from wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all soon in the internet. Have a great one, everybody.